Well, it's peak week and it's been a wild ride, but this is your official NPC IFBB Pro Legion competitor meeting. This takes the place of the in-person meeting. We adopted this format to work within COVID-19 restrictions. Now, my team and I will still be available at check-ins to answer any questions that I might not have covered here. Now, in this video, I'm going to cover information about competitor services, tanning, photos, coaches passes, things along those lines. I'm also going to discuss the venue, tickets, live stream, adjusted operations for coronavirus safety, schedule, rules, athlete flow, and posing. We're going to start with the venue. The NPC and IFBB Legion will take place at the ballroom at the Reno Sparks Convention Center. Now, this has changed 5 times this year, so there's a lot of mixed up information out there regarding the venue. So always refer to centerpodium.com or legionsportsfest.com for the most accurate information. Now, all things bodybuilding will take place at the convention center. This includes check-ins, tanning, makeup, and of course a show. This is also where USA Weightlifting and the Expo will take place. The Expo is going to be pretty cool. It's going to have a few dozen vendors, a food court, and a live stream of the powerlifting events. Now, if you're staying at the host hotel, the Atlantis Casino, you can actually just walk over the Sky Bridge directly to the convention center. If you're not at the host hotel, there's ample parking and you can park in the north lot. Now, you will also have access to arm wrestling and armor combat, which is going to take place at the Atlantis Casino in the Emerald Ballroom. Powerlifting and strongman will take place at American Iron Gym. Now, also, you'll be able to train for free at the American Iron Gym all throughout your stay. And it's an awesome gym. I think you're absolutely going to love it. It's where I train. I want to take a moment to recognize how hard the Reno Sparks Visitors Authority and the Reno Sparks Convention Center has worked to help make this event happen. Now, while you're there, please go out of your way to thank the staff, show appreciation and respect for everybody there. And of course, respect every inch of that property. We did have some problems with tanning getting on furniture and walls at the NPC Motherlode, so please be respectful and be conscientious at this event as to where you may be leaving a tanning print. Let's go into tickets a little bit. Tickets are on sale for this show. However, we are operating a very low capacity of just 250 people per session, so there's a limited quantity left. Already, VIP tickets for IFBB Masters are sold out. Now, because of these limited tickets, everybody, including competitors, must have a ticket if they want to sit in the audience. Now, we must be able to monitor occupancy for this show to proceed. This is why we have to do that. And it's not how I like it, and it's not how it's going to be in the future, but this is how it's going to be until we return to normal. Now, since we have limited tickets, the event is broken up into smaller sections or segments. Saturday's NPC show offers tickets for a women's segment and a men's segment. There are prejudging and finals for each segment. So this means there is a total of 4 segments. So 2 for prejudging, men's and women, 2 for finals, men and women. Now, there are also VIP tickets that covers all the segments. And last time I checked, there's about 19 of these left, so you want to jump on those. Now, IFBB Pro Masters will not be broken up into segments. It will run more like a traditional NPC IFBB show with prejudging and finals. All right, let's get into some products. So makeup takes place at room D10 at the convention center. It's right next to the ballroom entrance. Now, purchasing is now closed. So if you booked makeup, you should have received an email from our makeup manager. If not, check your spam. If still not, you can email her at foufoumakeup@gmail.com. That's FOU makeup@gmail.com. Now, if you'd like to see if she has any extra room, please also email her directly. Now, makeup application will, again, as I mentioned, take place at the convention center. However, do keep in mind there is no unauthorized professional makeup artists allowed at the venue. Now, you can purchase your high-res photo stage packages online, or you can do this at check-in. We highly recommend you do this. It's good for getting judges' feedback, references for future shows, sponsorship, portfolio development, and of course, it's the best shape of your life. All right, tanning. Tanning is going to take place in rooms DA and D9. This is also at the convention center right next to the ballroom. So some quick tips to prep your skin. You want to be loofahing every day, pretty much all week before the show. Definitely don't use a tanning bed anymore because even a slight burn can cause water retention. Now, on the day you'll get your tan, use no perfume, oils, lotion, or deodorant. And do not use anything that's not Pro-Tan because other prep products may have a bad reaction with Pro-Tan solution, which is what we use. Now, we had a few people using dish soap on their skin at the Tahoe show. Bad idea. Don't do that. Okay, also, there is no outside tanners or even spray equipment allowed in the venue. So to ensure that there's going to be no damage to the hotel, there will be no unauthorized spray tanning allowed anywhere on the property, including the hotel rooms, and any violation will result in disqualification. Hotel staff has been alerted, and they're going to be watching for that. So please respect that and their properties. Now, we have two Coaches Pass products. The Premier Coaches Pass, which allows you both backstage access and VIP seating. Then there's the Standard Pass, which is backstage access only. Now, the Coaches Pass is good for both days. So remember, in accordance with NPC rules, an NPC card is required for all coaches, even if you're an IFBB Pro. All right, so we're going to get into some of the adjustments for coronavirus. Now, we were one of the very first promoters to get out there and produce a show during the coronavirus lockdown. The restrictions for that show were crazy. We were only allowed 50 people in the room and no audience. So we're really happy that the NPC IFBB Legion includes standards that help it feel more like a traditional show while still maintaining safety. So here's some things to be prepared for. First, temperature checks. At every entrance, there will be temperature checks. Everyone, including athletes and spectators, will have their temperature checked prior to entering the venue. If your temperature is over 100.4, you won't be admitted. So please, if you're feeling at all sick, don't attempt to enter the event. Now, face coverings. Per state and county ordinances, face coverings are required by all attendees. Masks will be worn at all times except when an athlete is on stage. Masks can be left with your personal belongings or placed on a disinfected table that we have just off the entrance of the stage. Now, once you walk off the stage, the mask must be put back on again. Now, note that Atlantis Resort is strictly enforcing this, and they'll evict anyone from the property not following mask requirements. Okay, this is how seating is going to lay out. We are going to arrange the seats with a modified social distancing layout. That means we use a combination of seating with chair arrangements for social distancing, so one chair spaced out by 6 feet, but also in small groups for families or people traveling together. Now, we ask that you respect all these guidelines. We know this has been highly politicized, and we know that people have a wide spectrum of views on the guidelines. But if we want to have shows, this is what we have to do. If you can't respect the guidelines, just don't attend. If you're nervous about your health at the show, don't attend. So we have a live stream for both of these groups. Now, I personally will be wearing a mask for about 16 hours straight for 3 or 4 days straight. I've already done it at the NPC Motherlode. I did it at the Dexter Jackson Classic, and I did it at the Tahoe show. It's not fun, but I will do it as often and as long as I need to make sure there's a place for our athletes to compete. Now, even with all these compromises, we have some great things happening. For the first time, the Legion includes the IFBB Pro Masters event. Now, this includes every Masters class plus a cash purse of $11,500. Another very cool thing is NPC Vice President Tyler Mannion will be the head judge at both the NPC and IFBB Pro League shows. Now, our entire judging panel is flown in from far and wide to make sure that you are judged by the very best. I'm talking Olympia-level judges. Now, we are releasing a full line of center podium apparel, like this jacket right here. We've spent about a year creating some seriously great stuff. Everything is tailored for athletes. We have things like sports bras, booty shorts, t-shirts, hats, tanks, and as I mentioned, cool hoodies like this. Now, we are also providing an upgraded live stream with multiple camera angles and a whole new level of production. So please help us by sharing this. The success of the live stream is really important and may define the promoter's ability to produce shows in the future with these reduced audiences. J.M. Mannion from NPC News Online will be providing behind-the-scene photos and coverage of the pro shows. This will be the first time that this is the third time that JM is going to be at the Legion Sports Fest. Now, we have awesome competitor gift bags stuffed to the top with all kinds of ridiculous great stuff from the sponsors. Now, we have a few dozen vendors, as I mentioned, and we still have room for more. So if you or someone you know is interested, Let's get them on over and get them involved. Now, all the winners will get, I don't know if you can see in the back, some of these amazing handmade trophies. And of course, we have the best photographers, tanners, and makeup artists in the business. So while it won't be business as usual, it's still going to be the quality that you expect from Center Podium. All right, let's get into show day. We're going to start the day before. We're going to get into check-ins. Now, check-ins take place at the ballroom at the Reno Sparks Convention Center. Now, space is limited, so set up. We've set this up into groups. So the way it's laid out is 1 p.m. on Friday, IFBB Masters check-in, and that's going to include bodybuilding, women's bodybuilding, and 212. At 1:30 for IFBB Masters, we're going to check in classic physique, women's physique, and fitness. And when I say fitness, that's open and masters. Next is going to be IFBB Masters Bikini at 2 o'clock. Then at 2:30, we're going to be checking in figure. And then at 3 o'clock, we're going to check in men's physique. And finally, we shut it all down for IFBB Masters at 3:30. Now, NPC check-ins are as follows. 5 p.m. check-in for men's bodybuilding, classic physique, women's physique, and NPC fitness. Check-ins for men's physique happen at 5:30. At 6 o'clock, we have figure and wellness. At 6:30 is bikini, and 7 o'clock is when we shut it all down. Now, if you can't remember all that, it's also right there on our Center Podium website, centerpodium.com/NPC Legion. Now, due to our limited capacity, we can't allow companions or coaches at check-ins. And also, there won't be any competitor meeting because this is it. So, but I'll still be visiting with you to see if you have any questions along the way. Now, we do ask that you please purchase your NPC card online at npcnewsonline.com. You can also upload your music on the Legion page at centerpodium.com/NPC Legion. Now, when you arrive, you may purchase an NPC card if needed. Then find a seat, and then we'll call you up. Don't jump in line. Then we're going to measure your height or weight. We're going to give you your buttons. You'll retrieve your coach's pass. You're going to coordinate photos, music, and pick up your competitor bags. Now, you can register there and purchase anything you really need at that time if you haven't registered yet. After you grab your competitor bag, head on over to the Center Podium gear, where you're going to get an exclusive introduction to the gear and an exclusive discount that's just available at registration. After that, you're done. Typically, this will take about 30 to 60 minutes, so plan on having the necessary food or clothing. And one final note, if you've been tanned already, don't wear short sleeves or shorts to check-ins. If you're not properly covered, we're just going to ask you to stand because we really need to protect the furniture at the Reno Sparks Convention Center. Okay, let's get into show day. First, makeup and tanning will begin at 6 o'clock a.m. at meeting rooms D8 through D10. And again, that's at the Convention Center right at the ballroom entrance. Now, you'll receive your exact appointment individually. And again, as I mentioned earlier, check your spam. Be sure to mark those emails as safe. Check your spam filter to make sure you've gotten everything scheduled. Now, doors open to the public to the Convention Center at 9. I highly recommend being early because it's a long walk from the Atlantis to the ballroom. So I recommend at least 45 minutes prior to when you think you should be there. So you check into the tanning rooms. Right across from that is the warm-up room, and that's right backstage. So again, review the orders of events. Try to estimate what time you're going to be on stage. Again, say early. I know I always recommend looking at the classes several ahead of mine. So if I'm bodybuilding heavyweight, I might look for bodybuilding lightweight. Now, you may also want to purchase the live stream so you can see exactly where the show is at any given time so time doesn't slip away from you. Now, I also recommend when you're backstage, listen for your class. You know, oftentimes people miss hearing their number called or their name called, but very rarely you're going to miss hearing that your class is up. Okay, Saturday, here's the schedule. It's going to start at 9:30. We're going to start with IFBB Fitness and then NPC men's section. Then at 11:30, then women are going to be on. Now, 2 p.m. is finals for NPC. That's going to be NPC men. And then at 3:30 is finals for women, and that's going to be women's fitness and then and all the NPC classes. All right, then on Sunday, 10 o'clock is when the show is going to start, and that's prejudging. 3 o'clock, 3:30 is going to be doors, and 4 o'clock is going to be Masters finals. And also remember, everybody goes to finals, and open overall winners should stay to the end so we can get an awesome group photo of everybody. Now, I remind everybody, conduct-wise, please protect this venue. This is a great venue, and we want to be able to return and work with this awesome center in the future as we expand the Legion again. Always wear long pants. Always wear shorts. Don't wear shorts, especially if you're not backstage. So please respect everything. Be aware of the walls. Be aware of the furniture. I know I've said this a lot, but it's really, really important. Don't lean against the walls. Also, toilet seats. We don't want to see tan butt prints all over the entire facility. So just please use a cover when you use the toilet seats. Always take out what you take in. Be careful with food. Don't spill it. And of course, don't leave a mess, please. Now, one thing you want to note, your buttons. Your buttons are your access. They're key to the venue. So keep them safe. Keep them close. Obviously, don't share them. There will be times where we may potentially cross-check names with a button if you're out of shape and you're not tan. Now, everybody will pose. Now, you'll enter from stage left, and that's going to be competitors left. And just so you know, the stage measures 40 feet wide by 32 feet deep. Now, presentations and posing happen only once. Crossovers come to the stage, but they're not going to pose a second time. You can visit the Legion or Center Podium page to get more details and also to upload your music. Now, what I'm about to lay out for you for posing is the general protocol for judging at NPC shows. Now, this may vary based on several factors and will ultimately be decided by the head judge. So let me start with the typical pre-judging layout for bikini, figure, wellness, and men's physique. So remember this, the more time you spend on your walk, the more time the judges have to find your flaws. So get out there to the center box, show them a couple of your best shots, and get off of there. Now, some people will try spending more time out there than necessary for posing. All this really does is create traffic jams and ultimately looks unprofessional to the judges. Remember, you're being judged every minute that you're on stage, so never relax. Always keep everything tight. I want to remind you to always smile while you're up there. You'll be famous if your stage presence is awesome. And even if you don't win, you may end up on the posters and in our promotions. A big smile always helps. Okay, so once you're on stage, you'll be lined up on the diagonal. The judge will call your number. This is when you perform your individual presentation. Remember, so walk to that center X, hit 2 great poses, and walk back to the diagonal. Now, you have a maximum of about 15 seconds to present. Now, once everybody's presented, the judges will call out numbers for comparisons and call out. Now, listen closely for your number. This will vary. Of course, this whole thing will vary a bit by class size. So the head judge may do it differently if there's 2 compared to 20 in your class. Okay, so we're going to get into pre-judging for bodybuilding, classic, fitness, and women's physique. Now, like I said before, remember, you're always being judged every minute. So stay tight. Smile, 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 because you will be famous if your stage presence is awesome, even if you don't win. Now, you'll be guided to the judging line, and you're going to run through your mandatory poses and call-outs. Now, be sure, again, to pay attention and listen for your number. Now, after judging is complete, everyone will leave the stage. At finals, you'll perform your routine, and again, everybody is performing a routine. Routines are limited to 45 seconds. Your music is going to be hard cut at 60 seconds. Now, if you're in multiple classes, you're just going to perform your routine once. Now, we go into way more detail of this, and you can see images and video if you go to centerpodium.com/showtime. This is a free part of our membership site and includes it actually includes a full prep guide and videos of every show we've ever produced and tons of other resources. All right, so moving on, we got a ton of vendors, so please make sure to stop by and thank them for their support. They really provide so much, and they make it so we're able to do a lot for you guys to put on these awesome shows. You can actually check out a bunch of their deals if you go to legionsportsfest.com and click the deals button under the Expo tab. And we got some other shows still lined up in 2020. We have the NPC West Coast Classic on November 7th and 8th at Huntington Beach. And then we wrap up the year with the NPC Worldwide International Russia Championship on December 12th, where we're giving away 9 pro cards. So guys, can't thank you enough for staying strong. I know it's been a rugged year, but you are the inspiration. You're the reason that we work so hard to make these events happen. We do not want to let you down. But we also want you to remember there may be things that change. There may be rules that change. There may be guidelines that change. So please be flexible and work with us because we're working our butts off to try to make this an awesome event for you guys. So again, I appreciate it. I really look forward to seeing all of you guys this weekend. Take care.